Hey YouTubers, I hope you're enjoying the content. Before we get to today's video, I want everyone to go hit that bell over by the subscriber button so you're notified every single time I upload. Enjoy the video. Hey YouTubers, and welcome back to another open question video. So this is basically something I've seen a lot of people discussing in my comments and also just live streams I've done in other people's live streams, other people's comment sections and all this other stuff. That is just this weird speculation on how long the Tournament of Power is actually going to be in the broader scope of things. And a lot of people are really worried about the whole, oh, it's only 48 minutes, it's not going to be a very long fight. Well, guys, I mean, we can all freak out about that, but we all know how 5 minutes works in Dragon Ball time, right? To kind of emphasize what that really means, you have to go back. Cinematic timing is always really weird, but Dragon Ball's always been very weird. I mean, even back in Dragon Ball days, in the 22nd tournament, when Goku and Tenshinhan were about to fight each other in the final, they came out and the announcer in the Japanese version's like, each of these fights have been like 30 seconds long. Like, you know, their average fighting time had been 30 seconds long. And you guys remember like the fights that were leading up to that. Goku had some pretty fun fights at the beginning, but you know, Tenshinhan had fought Yamcha and Master Roshi, and at the same time Goku fought Krillin, and Krillin had fought Chaozu and all this other stuff. So yeah, the weird, it's been really weird about how they decide to make like any amount of time actually play out in this particular fight. I was in a live stream the other day, and I think it was Kyokai, but it might have been MJ. And correct me if I'm in the comment section below if you're listening to this, either of you, and whether or not I'm right. I don't remember exactly who said it, but the idea was that in the fight between Frieza and the whole 5-minute thing, we actually got to see every single one of their punches. And these are guys moving beyond the speed of light or around the speed of light or sound or something like that. So no shit, the 5 minutes didn't play out all that well. So obviously if they wanted to make this tournament 5 minutes, like that 5 minutes was like, what, 10 episodes? So if you wanted to basically make it a 5 minutes times 5 minutes 48, so it's like 9. My god, that would be so many episodes. That would be a Boo arc times like 90 episode arc, wouldn't it? But they're not gonna do that, honestly. With the idea that this tournament's basically starting on episode 96, I'm going to take an educated guess and say that it's actually going to go into episode 110. We're going to get a solid 14 episodes of just pure fighting and storytelling, you know, just the side stories, all this other stuff going on, and that's just how it's going to play out. One of the things that I think a lot of people are forgetting is that most of these arcs in Dragon Ball Super have not been very long. In fact, they've only been about 14 episodes each, and even the Japanese and American Blu-rays box sets aren't going to be giving that many episodes per release. So I really think that they're going to only go about 16 episodes. So I think the tournament, or this built up, started around like episode 76, 77. 77, I heard people say that last night. So 77 to 95. So that's about nearly 20 episodes. It's like 18 episodes plus 14 episodes. So you're looking at like a 32 episode arc if it goes to episode 110. That's not to say they won't go even further beyond that. Even further beyond, no. I really think that that's kind of where they're going to end it. But obviously this is still up for debate. There could be, I mean, there's just so much potential here. With 80 people fighting, they can just go back and forth, and they can have like one fight per episode, or they can go from one fight to another fight to another fight and then come back to that first fight like 2 episodes later, and it's still going on. And you know, the fact that this is just taking place over the course of seconds and instead of weeks or just episodes upon episodes and episodes, that's really what I would really like to see them do. Who really knows? One of the things they've been doing throughout this entire show is basically just summarizing fights in an episode, maybe an episode and a half. I don't think we've ever seen a fight that goes on multiple episodes outside of the whole Frieza fight in the Fukkatsu no F arc, and then the fight with Beerus at the beginning in the Battle of Gods arc of Dragon Ball Super. we got a little bit of that in the Future Trunks arc, but at the same time, they basically fought and then ended that fight, and then they went and took a break. So it was only about an episode and a half, maybe stretching 2 episodes here and there, but it wasn't necessarily just full-on fighting. And honestly, I'm not necessarily sure how they're going to separate this or how they're going to play it out, where the fighting is going on, all the drama between the gods are going on, the Xenos marking out and then showing whoever else they need to show, people watching, not just in the world of the void, but also like Bulma and Chi-Chi and all these other people. I'm not necessarily sure how they're going to create that tension or that, I guess, perspective of all this other stuff is going on. I mean, they could still even cut back to Goten, Trunks, and Marin on the Poacher Island, and maybe for some reason they go and watch it too. They learn about that. I mean, there's just so many other possibilities they can do in order to stretch out this 48 minutes to an even greater extent that don't necessarily push the fighting beyond the breaking point where we're starting to get kind of fatigued on all this stuff happening. And honestly, that's something I'd really like to see. I would really like to see them push this arc past 14 episodes, past episode 110. I just don't necessarily see them doing it. But like I said, this is an open question. It's basically me asking you guys what your thoughts are, your opinions on how long this arc's going to last. I've heard people say anywhere between 14 episodes, 30 episodes, 40 episodes. I mean, that's pushing it in my opinion, but it really could. I mean, this is on top of the world. Even if they did want to end it in a couple episodes, just considering how popular this arc has made this series in general, I would wonder if they're actually trying to figure out a way to expand it if they haven't already, or if it wasn't supposed to be that long in general. I would be sitting there considering this is a weekly show and it's like in constant progress and momentum. If I was Toei, I'd be like, let's just expand this thing. Let's make this 20 more episodes if it's going to keep doing this type of business, if it's going to keep if it beats One Piece, let's make this our new cash cow. So let's make this the next Boo arc, when it just is an overextended amount of time to watch, like maybe a day or 2 worth of material when it comes to like what's actually happening in the story. That's something they can possibly do. I'm not necessarily sure they're going to do it though. And then at the same time, I mean, even if it's a shorter arc, if it is that shorter arc, how is it actually going to pick up and what is it going to do after this? Because I just don't see the show ending anytime soon. It's possible, but I just don't see it happening. And even if it does, I think they're going to immediately have something else to replace it, which is also a possibility. So we might talk about that later, but this is basically how long do you think this tournament's going to last? So guys, with that being said, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Please make sure to hit that bell over by the subscriber button so you're notified every single time I upload, and I'm going to catch y'all in the next video.